Alright guys, so on this week's episode of Julie's Playbook, we're going to be talking about Josh Gordon. What the heck happened to him? Hunter Henry back in pads this year? And who is the biggest Pro Bowl snub coming from the Pittsburgh Steelers? All that and more when Julie's Playbook starts now. Alright guys, so the first topic we have to talk about is Josh Gordon. He's been suspended indefinitely from the NFL for violating the league's substance abuse policy again. Well, a little plot twist on this time. He said he's stepping away from the game of football because his mental health isn't where it needs to be. Matter of fact, he took to Twitter and said, "I take my mental health very seriously at this point to ensure I remain able to play at the highest level. I've recently felt like I could have a better grasp on things mentally. With that said, I'm stepping away from the football field for a bit to focus on my mental health. I would like to thank Coach Belichick, Mr. Kraft, as well as countless others within the Patriots organization for their continued support. I want to thank my fans for their support as well as I continue down the path to getting back to 100%. Alright Josh, I do understand mental health is a serious thing, and I'm glad that you are taking the time to ensure that your mental health is at 100%, but here's the thing, he's gonna have to be reinstated when he comes back to the NFL. That would be the second time he's reinstated. Unfortunately for Josh, I don't look for him to find a home after the Patriots because he comes with a lot of baggage, and I don't know how much a team's gonna put up with that. Alright guys, so the next topic we have to talk about is James Conner. He was selected to his first Pro Bowl. However, that ankle injury is currently keeping him off the field. James says he feels good and he's ready to play, but here's the thing. His ankle starts hurting when he starts running and cutting up the field, all those things that is critical to our running back. However, rookie Jalen Samuels is playing lights out football. His first start, he was amazing. So here's the thing, James Conner can't play, Jalen Samuels will be the Steelers guy. Alright guys, so the next topic we have to talk about is the Pro Bowl selections for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We just talked about 1, James Conner, 2, David DeCastro, 3, Antonio Brown, 4, Marquise Pouncey, 5, Cameron Hayward, and 6, Alejandro Villanueva. You know whose name I didn't say there? Juju Smith-Schuster. Smith-Schuster had 95 catches for 1,274 yards and saw the end zone 6 times and got the Pro Bowl snub. I think he's the biggest Pro Bowl snub in the whole NFL. Of course, his name really isn't that big yet. This was kind of like his coming out year where his career spikes. He is still playing in the shadows of Antonio Brown. So next year, I look for Juju to be in Orlando. Alright guys, so the next topic we have to talk about is Hunter Henry. The Chargers might be getting him back. Yes, I said Hunter Henry, the guy that tore his ACL in OTAs this past offseason. Henry's making great recovery time. When the Chargers go to the playoffs, depending on how deep they get into the playoffs, they might see Henry back in pads this year. Alright guys, so there's an empty set behind me, so you know what that means. It's time for 5 Wide. The first question, what do you think the Steelers defense will have to do to keep Brees in check? I think this is a bigger test for them than the Patriots were. Yes, this is a bigger test for them than the Patriots were. And as far as the defense, the front defensive line is always great. Our outside linebackers will put pressure on Brees. Here's the deal. The corners and the safeties are going to have to play man. You're going to need that step on every Saint receiver, tight end, anybody that's catching the ball. You're going to need that step because Brees is such an amazing quarterback that he can make plays happen from any length on the field. He can make any type of pass. So it's going to come down to the secondary. I know that's scary for the Steelers because the secondary is not always the greatest, but the secondary will win this game. Alright guys, so piggybacking off the last question number 2, is this Sunday's matchup a Super Bowl matchup? That's referring to the Saints and the Steelers. Yes, I think it is. For those of you that have been listening to Julie's Playbook clear back to WPPJ, I've been saying for the last couple years that the Steelers and the Saints both have the talent to be in the Super Bowl. I've been rallying for a black and gold Super Bowl for the last couple years, and I think this year I'm finally going to get it. Alright guys, question number 3. MVP, who's it going to be? I've got it narrowed down to 2. Drew Brees or Pat Mahomes? Drew Brees, the only issue I have with him is he peaks. So he has a really good streak and then an not so good streak. Then a really good streak, then an not so good streak. I think Pat Mahomes has the upper hand. I've only seen 2 okay-ish games out of him. The rest have been great, way above what's needed of him. And the kid's young, the kid's emerging. I think he might have the upper hand for MVP, but don't count Drew Brees out yet. All right, guys, question number 4. Do you think the Houston Texans have locked in the 2 seed? Yes, they play the Eagles and the Jaguars. I think they're going to win out. Even if the Patriots win out, the Houston Texans still have a better record, so I think the Houston Texans have this 2 seed locked in. All right, guys, for question number 5, this person wants to play a little bit of a game. It's called franchise, trade, or cut. He gave me 3 quarterbacks, and of course, I have to say which one I would want to do what with. Carson Wentz, Josh Allen, and Baker Mayfield. I have to say I'm going to franchise tag Baker Mayfield. The kid's young, he's emerging. I'm cutting Josh Allen because I'm not real impressed with him. And Carson Wentz, I'm going to trade. The guy's injury-ridden. Yes, he is a great quarterback, but he, of course, as we've seen, injury-ridden, so somebody else can have him, and I'm sure I could get a first-round draft pick from him. All right, guys, so that does it for this week's episode of Julie's Playbook. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video. And, of course, if you want to play DraftKings, that's at JGurnick9. But until next week, that's a wrap.